Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. Seeing skies becoming mostly cloudy at this time with some fairly seasonable and quiet conditions out there and around the region this morning. Expecting a pretty quiet weather day ahead. Should see some seasonable temperatures, maybe a degree or two above average. Otherwise, expecting uh, dry conditions and no precipitation or lightning through our daytime hours today. We will see a good stretch of weather overall with, uh, again, fairly seasonable conditions continuing for the extended forecast here. We'll see a low end precip chance as we get into the weekend, but really not looking like anything impactful or much in the way of accumulation. So good weather expected over the coming days. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we do have a weak boundary off to just to our west, and that's going to continue to weaken and kind of wash out over the next 24 hours as high pressure dominates the region in the eastern part of the country weather-wise. And that's going to help keep those uh, the weather quiet as we move over the next couple of days. Well off to the west-northwest, we do have a boundary coming through the Great Lakes at this time, expecting that boundary to arrive as we go overnight Friday and into Saturday, and that's going to bring a very slight chance of maybe a light shower or sprinkle around the area, but again, will be very brief and not very impactful if that does occur. So that's kind of what we can expect the next couple of days. If we take a look at our current surface analysis, seeing just a few clouds around 5,000 feet, in a broken deck building around 7,000 feet, winds out of the north at 4 knots, temperature at 62 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 93%. Take a look at our current visible satellite, we could see patch of clouds over the local area and then some additional cloud cover off to the west and northwest along that boundary. We do expect partly to mostly cloudy conditions as we move through the day, becoming mostly cloudy getting into the afternoon as some of this cloud cover will gradually build in through the area as we move through the day, and then going into the evening, we should return back to partly cloudy conditions. If we take a look at the short-term high-resolution model, we'll see as we move through the day, no precipitation expected, no lightning threat chances. We'll see a slight onshore breeze once again develop as we move through the day. Otherwise, just seeing partly to mostly cloudy conditions, becoming partly cloudy as we move through the overnight. We will see a slight chance of maybe some patchy mist around the area for the early morning hours of Friday. And then going into Friday, we'll see a pretty much repeat of what we see today, where we'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions at times. We'll see a slight onshore breeze, but overall things will be nice and quiet and seasonable. As we move into Friday evening and Saturday morning, that boundary over the Great Lakes starts to approach the local areas. You can see some light reflectivity along that boundary. Overall, expecting a fairly dry boundary as it pushes through. We will see an increase in some high clouds and just general cloud cover as this pushes through moving into Saturday morning. And then going into the day, I do see some light simulated radar returns here during the daytime hours on Saturday again, looking like a very low end chance of any precipitation, and if it was to occur, it would be very light and brief, so about a 15 to 20% chance for our Saturday. And again, that would be brief and light if it does occur. If we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, so summing things up, expecting green conditions over the next 24 hours. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions through the day today, likely seeing our ceiling develop between 4,000 and 6,000 feet as we move through periods of time during the working hours today. We'll see our high temperature climbing up to around 74 degrees this afternoon, with that wind turning northeasterly to around 7 to 12 knots, and then more of a southeasterly component to the wind as we get later in the afternoon and into the evening time frame. That's when we'll see some of those clouds break, seeing mainly just few or scattered clouds around 4,000 feet. Chance of seeing a ceiling develop again around 4,000 feet, but will likely stay less than that as we move through the morning hours of Friday. That's going to allow those temperatures to cool down to around 60 degrees once again as those winds become light and variable, and that's going to also help with a slight chance of maybe some patchy mist around the area, but shouldn't see anything too impactful as we get into the start of the day on Friday. Right now, tides are running about a half a foot to just under a foot above normal. In the next couple of days, Friday will be a very similar day to today. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions with a slight onshore breeze, but overall green for our weather risk a high of 75 degrees. Going into Friday evening, we'll see mostly to partly cloudy conditions as that boundary starts to approach. We'll see a slight chance for some patchy fall before sunrise, so do have a yellow risk for those reduced ceilings and visibilities, otherwise low around 62 degrees. And then Saturday, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy conditions with a slight breeze, but we'll overall see a fairly nice day, but we do have that slight chance of a light shower or sprinkle in the forecast, so introducing a yellow risk, again, about a 15 to 20% chance of that occurring, and not very impactful if we do end up seeing that, but a slightly warmer day ahead of the front with a high around 77 degrees. So that's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.